to Genfanad. We're in here now. Wherever here is. I believe it's the Fey realm, something like that. We touched a jagged crystal in the dark forest, and now we are here. I'm sure everything's gonna be great. Something out there. There's a fairy. The most observant fairy with a sub 50% success rate at find the difference activities. Okay. We got some shiny rocks. Interesting colored trees. Snowy stepping stones. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Ing stone. Okay. So we got a building here. Got some fairies to talk to. Not very high on the list of Feywild's tour guide candidates. Well, let's see what they have to say anyways. Welcome to the Feywilds, human. There's a lot to do around here. Most of it involves unimaginable violence. At least you can't say the place is boring. Unimaginable violence, you say? Concern. Got some ancestral statues left unfinished. A bit of a kind of like a playing board here or something. It's like chess, but only 4x4. Fascinating. Another fairy. Undisputed champion of Fey chess. So this is Fey chess. Interesting. This is some kind of Fey variation of chess? Indeed it is. What are the rules? Oh, it's quite simple. You move one of your pieces forward one tile, and then I win. Fun, right? Very important to get the right color in Fey chess, it seems. We got more of the statues all around the place. It's kind of like a courtyard out here. This fairy is a high flyer, but not in the way you might think. Oh, you poor human. If only you had wings such as mine. Then you too could hover an imperceptible distance off the ground. Cat. He is hovering an imperceptible distance off the ground. Fascinating. Nice fancy fountain. Very nice. Noble in all but social interactions. This fairy. Hi there, I'm you, peasantry. Nice to meet you too. An interesting welcome here to the Feywilds. We got a big moose head. The moose is no longer on the loose. Got a mounted head of a gazelle. Fancy side table, curved legs, gold painted highlights. It's all very fancy out here. Gloomier than the Fey realm itself. This fairy. Now it's probably not the best time to bother them. They're looking a little blue at the moment. Indeed. This fairy knows exactly how humans think. This grand castle was built an eternity ago to house the illustrious Winter Court. Neat. Okay, so don't ask why there isn't any snow around the castle. You know, it's rude to make assumptions like that where I'm from. My apologies. It's fine. I was correct though, wasn't I? Completely. Winter Court, no snow. Suspect. A map of somewhere. Looks like nowhere you've ever been. And the same map, but in red. Never make a deal with Fey, especially this one. Tell me, human, have you ever tasted sound? No. Would you like to? Not really. Your loss. I don't know about that idea. Tasting sound, huh? Suspect. Very suspect. Alright. There's a large area here. So fancy. Got some ideal sit-in sofas. Very good. Give everyone the cold shoulder. This fairy. Looks like they want to say something, but their mouth seems to be frozen shut. That's unfortunate. Looks like we got a bank over there. That's fantastic. Big cool statue of a brave hero raising their spear. Flag states, join Cliché Corp today. Got a fancy statue. It's just an advertisement. My goodness. We're young and endlessly bored. Why does everyone look so young here? Nobody ever ages in the Feywilds. Really? Eternal youth must be amazing. It gets old pretty quickly, actually. Ain't that something? This fairy strongly dislikes food seasonings, mountains, and seawater. Okay. You would tell me if you had salt with you, right? I don't really want to get stuck standing in a place for a week. Again, standing in place for a week? Because of salt? My goodness. That's a reasonable thing to try to avoid, I suppose. I would want to stand in place for a week. Self-appointed enforcer of good health. As a member of the Winter Court, I'm obliged to remind you to stay hydrated. Fair enough. Highest ranking and only member of the Fey Fashion Patrol. Oh my, your attire is dreadfully tasteless. Pardon? The dress code clearly states that no less than 3 flavors of cake must be interwoven into all clothing. Sorry? You ought to be. Such disrespect for style. Yes, we have 0 flavors of cake in our armor. Wild. Feybanker. Bound by oath to keep your valuables safe. I can work with that. Hello there. Where am I? You're in the Fey Realms. It's chaotic here. I'm a beacon of safety. Outside the castle walls, you may be attacked at any time. Attacked? Certainly. Monsters, and even other humans, can attack each other out here. Won't I lose my items? Well, yes. That's why you can store them safely with me. Alright. That sounds worse. I'm not going to bet on the death mechanics being the same in the apparently PvP zone. So we are going to store most of our stuff. We'll bring some rat, I guess. Some beef in case we can actually live. With not wearing armor, I don't have high hopes for our survival chances. Alright. So let's start wandering around. See what there is to see out here. Here's the edge of the world, so we got that going for us. Could be good stuff out here. If it's the dangerous PvP zone and all that. Can't walk around that way. Let's look around the castle here to start. We got all sorts of shiny rocks, colorful trees. Can chop down these colorful trees. We don't have a hatchet. Also not sure if the PvP area starts right here. It might be more of a clear dividing line. We will find out. She takes the whole Winter Court theme a little too seriously. Fairy. Stay frosty, hero. These lands are a magnet for cold-blooded killers. Indeed. And that is why we are not bringing anything we're not willing to lose. Depending on exactly how the PvP mechanics work, this could get dicey. Because we are level 10. That's not exactly high level. Some flowers over here. A border crystal. These are going to get a lot more dangerous past these crystals. Oh, PvP level, yes. I guess that answers that question. Yes. Nice border crystals, though. Very useful. Very helpful. The PvP level is yes. My goodness. Yeah. Whatever's out here, we're not going to be able to use it. Especially if it's a lose all your items kind of business. That is definitely something we would need to learn exactly how it works before we mess around with this place. Because if there's a sculling system, or you still keep some of your things, it might still be possible to make use of this. Also, here's a very colorful brick path. This is where we could use all those colorful bricks that they're going to make for the golden brick road. The export over here into the Feywilds is a difficult one, though, so probably not going to happen. Got an honorary hero and fellow irresponsible adventurer here. You're from the other world, aren't you? That's right. I'm here because I touch every shiny crystal I see. True. Understandable. Many of your human years ago, I traveled to your world to learn about the hero lifestyle. It's amazing what a bit of adventuring will do to your attention span and sense of judgment. Yeah. There's some ice flows here. Around floating ice platform. I guess there is a little ice nearby. Snowy stepping stones. There's some snow. That's alright. Reject your reality and substitute their own. How dare you tread on hallowed ground? Don't you know that exact spot you're standing on is highly important, as I have declared to be right this moment? How would I have known that? You could have used your mind-reading powers that I bestowed upon you a moment ago. Try to focus on what this fairy is thinking. Only thoughts you hear are your own. Yeah, no, I don't have any mind-reading powers. That's because I took them away when I saw you weren't using them. How clueless can one hero be? You know what I think? I think you're just making stuff up. You're not allowed to call me out anymore, I've decided. Alright. This flower faces the sun. Some of them seem a bit confused. All these ones seem to be facing this advertisement statue. And this broken table. Okay. Looks like the pinker ones are the mountains here, so we can't really get over that. Oh, I'm sure there's gonna be crazy stuff to face out here. No malicious falsehoods have ever left his mouth, not even once. Hey. Beware, traveler. There are a great many dangers here. Ferocious beasts abound beyond the castle. Humans run around whacking each other with sharp metal sticks. Random banana peels materialize on the ground to trip you up. Fairies lie to humans about the dangers of the wilds. Hold on, can you read that last one? I said fairies tell only the truth. You should trust us completely. Your eyes narrow suspiciously. There's the other line of crystals. That is the danger zone again. Let's finish looking around here before we fling ourselves into certain death. There's the hero. The average decorative statue enjoyer. Come to appreciate this heroic statue of no one in particular too, have you? Indeed. A brave hero with their spear. Don't think there's spears in the game, but that's why they're such a good hero. They had a spear. Very talented, redundant artist. This is so cool and colorful. It's breathtaking. Finally, someone appreciates my work. I painted everything here myself. Oh wow. What color was everything originally? The same as it is now. Hmm? Why would you... never mind. Good job. Colored... She painted everything the same color it already was. Sure. Go for it. Live in the dream. There's something up here. On the other side of this mountain. Alright, I guess that's all there is to see out here. It's dangerous. Exciting. Not too worrisome though, since we are not bringing us. Oh, there's Blade, level 45, but they can click faster than you. I bet they can too. Yeah, he's level 45. What's he fighting? He's fighting fairies. Looks like. Mythical viciousness. There's a low quality bronze bar spawn there. Ooh, interesting. Right outside. That's an interesting idea. Pick up the bronze bars. Maybe he's not fighting fairies. Maybe he's just picking up bronze bars. Let's see what he does. Oh, he's fighting the fairies too. He had 26! He could kill us twice at the same time, almost. My goodness. Quick, while he's distracted. PvP level, yes. Amazing. So the fairies are level 42 out here. See if they are aggressive. Hefty Vine. They'll last way more than 6 seconds. Who's up in the corner? There's a unicorn! The stories about a curse aren't true. Unicorn. Level 24. Fascinating. Alright. Onwards to our untimely demise. So just fighting fairies, picking up bronze. More fairies down there. We're getting to the edge of this map square. Like that map square is mostly the town there. There's a giant round pillar there. Don't knock it down. Would if I could. Got some non-fruity pebbles. Not even chocolatey. Devastating. Yeah. I'm gonna try to not get too close to anything on the assumption that they're gonna be aggressive. Got some little 47 imps. Reeking of sulfur down there. Oh. Can't walk on that hill right there. That's okay. And when you get higher up, you can really see a bit further. There's more imps. We got some tree folk. Trees have eyes. I think we can find more regular tree folk out in the regular world, so probably wouldn't mess with that. Here's a very large statue. Toppled statue of another time. A very detailed skull. Oh, we can't walk around the toppled statue. The toppled statue's in the way. I think there's a building over there. Imps are in the way of that route. See if we can walk around the other side here. Ultimately, we might get into some choke points where we need to actually try to walk past the monsters. We also might be able to walk around on this side too. Wild. It's also Fey. Amazing. If we get a little bit higher, we can see what this pillar looks like. Just a very, very tall pillar. Interesting. So if there's just some random bars on the ground over there, there might be other cool things to find out here. Seems likely. Alright, looks like we can get a good vantage point on this side. Past the tree folk. Oh, there's more enemies here. Fairies. And another giant pillar. And tree folk is up here. Let's try going around them. Not trying to attract any attention here. Would not be a good idea. There's an imp. Okay. Unicorn there. through here. That imp is walking towards us. Alright, we can get a view of this castle. Or building or whatever. There's all 53 knight in there. Don't ask him to say knee. Cool, cool, cool. Just a castle here. I think there was another something in there. Close the door. There's a knight. Probably just 2 knights. Got bookcases. This little structure over here with Wendigos. When did he go? Good question. Just in a little barricaded in area full of Wendigos. Creepy. PvP level is still yes. Can confirm. We got something on the ground up here with enemies. Let's see what we're looking at here. It is a low quality bronze longsword. Neat. And the enemies are fairies. Mythical viciousness. Probably not something we want to mess with. Get up on top of here. Yep, just some fairies, trees, another pillar. They do like their pillars. Degraded tree folk. Cold breeze flows by you. We've gotten up past the imps that were on the other side here. Okay. A single sword is significantly less exciting than multiple bars on the ground. These bars can be used for trading stuff. Okay. Here's some icy goats. Chilly kid. Snowy pole. Strange totem covered in snow. It's getting snowier out here. Oh boy. Okay. Explore this square here. We got snowy owls. Rootin' tootin', owls a hootin'. Another snowy pole. Lots of snowy poles up here. Pixies. Magical and sparkly. Also probably deadly. I just assume everything's deadly. You're usually right with that assumption. Massive dead tree rising over the landscape. Another icy goat. This is more of the icy section. So it's slightly away from the fortress there. Here's something. Got a lot of items on the ground over here. We can look at this without getting any danger. It is gremlins. And they've got bits of flax in the gremlin ruins. Okay. There's a big pile of snow. Yay. Here is a staircase near the edge of the world here. We got bones, giant rib bones coming out of the earth on the path up here towards the snowy area. And just a whole pile of imps over there. My goodness. we can climb up the staircase. No. What's up there? Nothing. It's broken. There's a spiral staircase. Everything just seems to be pretty broken. I don't think there's going to be an upstairs to go to here. Fascinating. Empty cart. It's got some snow in it, so it's technically not empty. There's a low-quality bronze mace. Here's some more pixies. And the edge of the world again. This empty cart has made it to the edge of the world. Very impressive. Alright. More pixies. Entire glaciers here too. It's very, very cold. Further we get this direction. Wild. A little fence here. Also covered in snow. Okay. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Not finding much in the way of resources to mess around with. Or reasons to come out here. More snowy owls. An archway. Denotes a village border. Probably the one that set up all these fences and the ruins down to the west. Spinning the camera around makes it a little bit difficult to remember which direction you're looking, but here we go. There's more broken fences and piles of stuff this way. This could be where the town was. They've got spiky fortifications. Maybe like a frozen river here or something. Cross into the next square. There's a small something here. Kind of like a border of something. And more icy goats. And reeds. Because the goats are eating the reeds here. We can't cross over this impossible tripping hazard. Owls and goats. This snowy pole is floating. That's pretty fancy. There's a maple tree over there. And a fist card. Maple tree. I don't know if we've seen one of those before. That's something of interest. Here's a large rock. 3 fist cards. Well, if, and it's a big if, we survive this journey, we got some fist cards for our efforts. That's good. Okay. Seems like a pretty large area out here, too. Strange colored rocks. Just giant piles of them. Okay. Over in this corner. It is just fairies. Lots of fairies out here. Don't trust them. Don't trust them one bit. Shadow Stalker gremlins. Even worse. Dangerous. Very dangerous. And that's not even counting the PvP. That's obviously even worse. Because players won't have to stop when they get too far away from where they spawn. Fist cards. Fruit bush. Probably not safe to eat. Magical rune pillar. Not gonna worry about that. There's another line of the pink that connects over there. Interesting. Kind of follow this a little bit. Let's try to scope out nearby enemies. Pixies. And up there we have Cyan Ghost, level 63. Good ghost. Level 63, my goodness. That might be the highest level thing we've seen yet. That's very strong. Oh. Soulborn Lich, Keeper of Souls. You can keep away from my soul. No thanks. Another rune pillar over there. Magical stuff happening over here. Some more fairies. I'm on the ground over here. Got some more Cyan Ghosts up here. Not gonna get anywhere near those. It's obviously a bad idea. Looks like the item's also up there with the Cyan Ghost, so not gonna worry about that. Here's the Shadow Stalker Gremlins again. These might be kind of like a road, maybe. Nothing floating, just a crazy giant rune pillar floating in a crater. Magical, and obviously concerning. And this is a crypt for the Shadow Gremlins. Yep, that's definitely a place. Here's the edge of the world again. It's not really a road because this part has a building on it. It's like a kind of like a border or something, maybe. There's more fairies. It's a path in some description, I suppose. Over here we have Druid Poets, Master of Words, and level 49. Spirit Siphoning Jellyfish, level 60. Shimmers as if it's not there. Another high level thing. Okay, cross into this square to the north. Yeah, let's not attack that. That's obviously not a good choice. These are sticky jellyfish. Only level 40, these ones. These tentacles are like glue. Still, the difference between something level 60 and level 40 for us is minimal. It's death either way. Some more ruins. Tree stump. More jellyfish. This seems to be the jellyfish section of the Feywilds. Well, it's definitely something. Some more pixies. PvP level is still yes. Lots of jellyfish up here. Okay. And the edge of the world. With more giant rib bones, because of course there are. And jellyfish in the corner there, guarding some ashes. Maybe not the corner, but there's some jellyfish there, guarding some ashes. Well, it's not a great spot to try to walk through. Yep, it is the corner. Alright, it's fine. Get past the jellyfish there. A bold plan, for sure. Remains of some obelisk. Okay. It's pretty wild. Not a huge amount to do out here. More fairies. Okay. Let's not walk too close to those. Don't need that right now. Oh, there's something on the ground over here. It is pixie dust. I'm gonna go snag that. No idea if this does anything. But it's all the way out here, so presumably it's something. Although, to be fair, we also saw like regular ashes and low quality bronze, so that's not really as big of a something as you might expect. There's something over here. We got the Tree Folk Lord, level 67, and his chamomile. Can make a healthy tea. 70. Yeah, okay. No. Oh, there's also an unstrung longbow. Okay. Yeah, something that requires level 70 I can just outright ignore. Because that's not a thing that's going to happen. Wild. The Tree Folk Lord, though. It's like a boss. 67. Cool. Okay. There's an item on the ground over here. What do you got for us? That's the low-quality bronze sword. We've looped around a little bit here. And up there is going to be those guys? Yeah. Okay. Well, this is definitely something. More degraded tree folk. It's like the tree folk area. Can't walk on these yellow bits either. Okay. Some stalagmites sticking out of there. Oh, there is Colossal Viscosity, level 98. For a precious prize for protracted pugilism with this pugnacious petroleum. That's the highest level thing we've seen. My goodness. Level 98. And it claims there's a special prize if you fight it. But that's not for us. That's not for us. Alright. Let's try to get out of here with our 6 fist cards and some pixie dust. Going to see if this does anything. Because if it doesn't, we might just get rid of it for bank space. Shiny spiky rock. Always a good time. Okay. So it looks like this basically goes east. The castle in the start of the area is in the western corner. Is it what? 4 squares of stuff out here? That's something. There's at least... I guess we call the Tree Folk Lord also boss. Oh, there's a round pillar. It's fallen over. So we got the Tree Folk Lord, the ridiculous slime, and many other high-level enemies. And a incredibly high-level botany and a maple tree. Overall, Not a huge amount out here. It's definitely something. And we didn't see anybody else besides the one person right at the start fighting a few pixies and picking up bronze bars, so. Whether or not this is more active for other things seems unlikely. There might be somebody fighting pixies. That's just him again. We just need to get past the border crystals. We are home free. Okay. Well, that was definitely something. Although I guess we're not exactly free. If we want to leave, we still need to go back through the dark forest. That's a whole thing. But we're out of the PvP zone full of things that get up to level 98. So feeling better already. And we got some fist cards for our efforts. So we did not leave empty-handed or dead, which is actually surprising. I'm gonna call that a win. I'm gonna call that a win. Oh boy. Okay. I think we have enough bank space we can hold on to this dust for a little bit. Not too worried about it either way. Yeah, we're doing okay. Let's get our equipment that we can actually wear back out. Need to train at some point here still. That's always something to consider. Plenty of food to get back through the dark forest. This was an adventure. Be interesting to see how this progresses, because risk, reward, and all that. Currently not much reward to warrant the risk. Those really high level things could drop cool stuff. That's entirely possible. And also I think there's fairies on the other side of this crystal, so we might just instantly die when we go back through here. But let us get out of here. Loading. Feel like pressure you weren't aware of suddenly recede. Okay, good. Now we just need to deal with level 17 wolves. My goodness. That is much more doable. There's all 38 bears over there, though. Who's fighting these bears? Who would do such a wild thing? Shape. Level 37. Level appropriate. Very good. Okay. So we're back in the dark forest, where we need to, one, get out of here, and then figure out what's going on with all the druids and satyrs and what mess they're in. Seems likely that we're going to need to fight things to get the drops, to pin the blame on both of them, and in the process get all the blame pinned on ourselves, but we will look into that some. See what we're gonna do next time. Goodbye.